Hello and welcome to the Lens on Japan channel. This is a new channel focusing on all things Japan. My name is Alan, and I just wanted to take some time to make a quick channel introduction and talk a little bit about myself, the channel, and then a little bit later I want to talk also about the type of content I'm looking to create. So first of all, a little bit about who I am. As I said, my name is Alan. And I have been living in Tokyo, Japan for about 10 years now. I've originally grown up in Europe, in Bosnia-Herzegovina. I moved to the US when I was 13 basically, and lived there until about 31, at which point I moved to Japan. And I have been in Tokyo the entire time. So basically I kind of have a unique path to Japan. So that's basically kind of how I got here. I'll go into more details in later videos about that whole process and how I actually got to Japan and the path I came with and through. But for now, just a brief introduction, and just wanted to take some time to talk about why I started this channel and kind of what I wanted to do with it. So the reason I started this channel is because I do think, like I said earlier, my path was a little bit unique. And, there's a lot of channels on YouTube focusing on Japan. And I do think that everybody tends to have their own point of view that's interesting and unique to them. I basically feel like anybody can contribute to the conversation because their experiences tend to be unique, and I believe that's the case for myself as well. So in addition to that, I also have a number of friends from all over the world who kind of also have had a relatively unique path coming to Japan as well. So ideally I will have them share their experiences as well in future videos. And as far as the type of content I want to make, I would like to focus on things like, everyday life, which, there's a lot of videos on that, and that's fine. But I'd like to also focus on some more, maybe videos that aren't covered as well, some more detailed kind of type of things, some more in-depth videos, things like, the moving process, for example, how different, because that's vastly different in Japan. So if anybody who's looking to move from US to Japan, probably should understand what that process looks like here, because it is quite different. Things like, for example, pet ownership. If you're moving here with a pet, how does that make things different? And in addition to that, I'll also talk about, day-to-day life and things of that nature, and also other things that people might find interesting, things like my language school experience, because I do sometimes get questions on places like Reddit about experience with the school I went to specifically, so I can kind of talk about that. And also I can have some people on that have also went to that same school share their experience as well. One other thing I also wanted to focus on as well is working in Japan, because that is probably one of the biggest differences between somewhere like the US and probably Europe and Japan. The working culture is, infamous essentially across the world. So I've been now working in Japan for almost 8 years. I work in the IT industry and cybersecurity, which I think is a very small field, and it's a fairly, like I said, it's small, so it's kind of a unique line of work that that you don't hear about that often here, because it is just a very small industry for a number of reasons, which I'll go into in another video. So I can talk about that for anybody who is working in IT looking to move to Japan, what that process is like, and basically try to help people out with that. A lot of people who basically kind of create content or come to Japan, their path usually tends to be things like the ALT, or they come here and teach English and do things like that. So I have some of those friends as well, but I will be focusing more on the IT aspects of it. And then I also want to do some other type of content, something a bit more short form, things that basically doesn't need to be a full-on video things that can just be relatively quick, things like, you know, quick food reviews, interesting finds, whether that's, you know, food, whether it's locations, whether it's events, whatever it is, just something that's a very kind of quick video but shows off something interesting. You know, even things like something as very simple as, like, you know, some amusing English or something like that. So I want to do a little bit of that as well. And then in the future, depending on how things go, if there is an audience, I have some interest in starting a podcast also. So I can do that as well, assuming there's an audience for that. But yeah, for now, kind of very broadly, just wanted to cover the type of stuff that I'm planning to do. And obviously, you know, if there is more of an audience, I will take suggestions from people on things you want to see or hear about or have videos made on. We can go ahead and do that as well. And yeah, before I kind of end things there, the last thing I just wanted to say is I am very new to all of this. My equipment is relatively basic, so if the audio or video quality is not amazing, please bear with me. I'm going to try to improve. Honestly, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is just to learn how to do this type of stuff, because, again, I work in IT, and generally the best way to learn how to do something is just by doing it. So this is kind of a way for me to, you know, learn some new skills that I haven't had before as well. But obviously, while I'm doing that, you know, there might be some issues. I'm not a professional YouTuber or content creator or anything along those lines, so I'm mostly just doing this for fun and to learn, and if it helps somebody who's interested in coming to Japan answer some questions they might have about living here and working here, then that's fantastic. But for now, I'll leave it there. And yeah, if you watched this far, thank you very much. As I'm obviously just starting, if any of this interests you, you know, do the usual YouTube thing, like, subscribe, and if you, you know, if you don't feel like doing any of that, that's fine too. Just watch the video. Every little bit helps when you're starting out, and yeah, I should have some of the first videos coming out relatively soon as well, and might as well say it now. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is my language school experience, focusing a bit broadly on the school I went to, and then also the general kind of path I took to come to Japan, which was through the language school, and what that was like. So I'll do that in the next video, but for now, I'll leave it there, and for the time being, bye from Tokyo. Mata ne.